Hello everyone, it's Maria here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be doing a project as part of the Insomniacs group blog hop, and the theme of our blog hop is Monochromatic Celebration. Now, I've done a couple of projects with the Epic Celebrations, but I have to say this is one of my favourite stamp sets in Celebration, and today I'll be doing a monochromatic theme card featuring the guitar. And if you want to take advantage of Celebration, now is the time, because 31st of March is when this all finishes, and it's while supplies last from this point in time. So if for example there have been many orders for any particular item in Celebration, if it runs out before the 31st of March, then that's it. You will never see these items again. So if you would like to get any of these items, get them now whilst they're available, is my advice to you. So I'm going to pop this away, and I'll be concentrating on Pacific Point. This is a colour that I don't use very often, especially on camera, but I do use it, you know, for private projects. So for today I'm going to be using Pacific Point. This is half an A4 and then scored in half again, and it gives you an A6 card base. So that's what I'm working with today. And I've pre-cut and pre-scored it. And I've got a layering piece of Whisper White, and that will go on top. This is going to be a very simple and quick card. So if you push for time, then this card is for you. Now, I've got two pieces of cardstock here. One's Pacific Point and one's Whisper White. With the Whisper White, I cut that to, what is it, 3.5 inches by 1 3/4, and this one is 2 inches by 3 3/4. Okay, so these just layer on top together, and it will look like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our guitar stamp, and we're going to get our Memento ink. Now, I've had this ink pad for years, and I tend to try and keep them in their original packaging because I think that makes a difference in how long these last. Unless it's shrink wrapped, of course, then you know you don't have to, but I quite like using my keeping them in their original packaging. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp, and I've got a bit of ink on myself, so I'm going to turn this over, and I'm just going to stamp the guitar like that at an angle. I'll just hold it down for a few seconds because I want to make sure that the ink transfers. And there we have it, beautifully stamped. I'm going to clean that because I will need this stamp again. As I said, this is going to be a very, very simple card. Just clean that off very quickly. Okay, so pop that there. I'll just grab my piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to grab some Pacific Point ink. So this is a great style of card to do if you are stuck for ideas, or if you want to keep things pretty simple, then this is the card for you. And also, if you don't want to fiddle around with different kinds of, you know, colour combinations, sometimes just sticking to the one colour is the best thing. Just bear with me for a sec. I need to bring some scrap paper so I can stamp off the page a little. So I've just got a scrap piece here. So I'll just be stamping in Pacific Point, and I'll stamp first of all in the middle. Okay, that looks fantastic. Then I'll stamp this way, keeping it fairly simple. And this way. And like that. and like that. And I'll be doing one more here if I can squeeze it in there. No, actually I'll just do that. And a bit here. And then down the bottom I'm just going to stamp only this top part here. Just fill up any gaps. Just a little bit. Okay. And that is it with the stamping. And give this a clean very quickly. And clean off that Pacific Point ink. And that's it with the stamping. It's all done. As I said, this is a very, very quick card. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to layer that piece right on top of that. And then we're going to put this like so. And I'm going to keep it like at an angle just to add interest. And I think that is fantastic for cards. So I'll add some fast fuse. Okay, so we've centered that. It looks great. Now I'll grab this guitar image and I'm going to start colouring. I'll be using markers today, so I've got Pacific Point, Basic Black and Smoky Slate. So I'm going to use the brush tip and I'm going to just start colouring certain bits in, and I'll colour in this part just slightly. And then I'm going to do these highlighted bits there just a little bit darker. And if you want to make something darker, all you have to do is just go over the top of it again. And that is it. Like, it's pretty simple. And so there you have like a darker shade of smoky slate there, and you just have it lightly over there. So that turned out really well. With this one I'm going to use now the Basic Black, the brush tip, and I'm just going to stamp, colour over that part. And then I'm going to use my Pacific Point marker and I'm going to colour in the guitar now. And just around, yeah. Very therapeutic. I love colouring. I'm doing a lot more of that lately than I thought I would. Because normally I don't do much colouring. I like to just keep my cards really, really simple. And I'll just do this part here a little darker, just to give this guitar a bit of definition, and then I'll go for it. Yeah. As I said, I'm not really great at colouring, so I'll just keep it really, really simple. Okay. And that is my guitar. Not coloured very well. I'm actually not that great. I'll just fix it up a little bit. Just give nice, more even strokes. And therefore you get better results. This has now made it a little darker, but that's okay. And colour with whatever makes you comfortable. Okay, that's as good as I get. As I said, I am hopeless with colouring, but it just gives you this. This is just to give you an idea. So what I'll do now is I'll just apply fast fuse on the back of that. It's quite sticky on the hands. Now I'll just even that up. Square it on. Okay, so therefore that's done, and I'm just going to pop that over, but I'm not sure I'm happy with that. I'm not sure I'm happy with that at all, so I'm just going to cut another piece of Whisper White, and I'll just keep it simple, I think. Yeah, I'm not happy with that, so I'll cut another piece. So as I said before, that is going to be 1 3/4 by 3 1/2. So let's cut that out. So that's 1 3/4. Let's do 3 1/2 by 1 3/4. There. It's funny, you have an idea in your head and then it doesn't quite work out the way you think it would. So I'm just going to keep this very, very simple, guys, like super simple. And sometimes simple is best, but feel free to change this up as you see fit. There's no right or wrong. Okay, so that's done. And I'll just angle it over the top of that. So I'll just add some fast fuse on the white part on this one. And it's good to experiment to see what works for you and what doesn't. For me, that didn't sit right. I don't like the way that looked. And sometimes what you have in your head doesn't really work out. So, but that's okay. Here's what you can do. You can always do another one and pop it over the top, and no one will be none the wiser. There you go. That's a great way to highlight a an image without doing a lot to it. So up to you if you like that, but it's very, very simple. I'm just going to add some dimensionals onto that. And one more. Take off the dimensionals. And we can keep this blank, so it's available for a card of some sort for anyone that likes you know, guitars. I think they'll enjoy this, or music. They will really enjoy this card. And it's just super simple. Actually, I quite like that. Very simple, quick card for you. So yeah, this is part of the Insomniac's blog hop for Monochromatic celebration projects. Please follow on through to the next team members in my blog post and click on the next button, and that will take you to the next person's blog, and you can check out their projects there. So I know this is very, very simple, but I hope you like it, and this design can be used for absolutely anything really, not just for this. But do grab this before it goes. If you love this funky, cool stamp set, I suggest grab it whilst you can, because the 31st of March is the last absolute day, and it may or may not be in stock, and I'd hate for you to miss out. So please consider putting in a $90 order or more, and you can get this one for free. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's project, and I shall see you again very, very soon. Bye. Hey everyone, I'm back. After completing this card, I had a look at it and I felt that there was something missing. And I love the design of it and I love the simplicity of it, but I think it is definitely missing a sentiment. Initially I thought it wouldn't need it, but I think it really does. So I'm just going to use the You're Awesome on a piece of Pacific Point cardstock, and we're going to heat emboss it. So what I'm going to do to finish this card off in its true sense is I'm just going to do that sentiment now. So I'm just rubbing my embossing buddy over the top of that piece of cardstock. I'm going to get my Versamark ink pad. I'm going to ink up the sentiment, You're Awesome. So I'll ink it up really, 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 really well. Make sure there's quite a bit of ink there, and I think that should be okay. And I'm going to stamp that towards the bottom of the cardstock there. And just keep it on for a few seconds to ensure that the ink transfers, and I think that's going to be fine. I'm just going to grab my Whisper White or white embossing powder. And I think that looks great. So what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to heat emboss it, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I have just heat embossed this in white. I keep calling it Whisper White, but it's just white embossed powder. So I'll grab my paper trimmer and I'm going to trim this down and make sure that the edges are all straight. So I'll just give myself enough room there to trim down. Oh, that didn't trim quite well, did it? Oh, how strange. Yeah, that's better. Trim this down a little bit more. Give it a more even border. And then I'm going to trim this down here. Okay. And there we have our sentiment all done. And what I'm going to do is just pop that up there, and I think that just completes the look. Or we can do it this way, but yeah, nah, I'll just keep it to up here. Just sort of might pull this, no, I won't pull that off because then I will wreck it. So I'll just pop that up there, and I think that will look fantastic. I will not elevate it, or should I? Just thinking. Yes, I'll elevate it with some dimensionals. Just add 2, should be enough. And I'll add that just there. And I think that looks a lot better now and more complete. So thank you so much for watching till the end of this. But it's funny that when you walk away and come back, you can get more clarity at times of the design that you're after. So I'll just pull this up a little bit more because it was sort of on the edge there. Oops. Put it up a bit more there. Yeah, sometimes you need to walk away from your design and have a few minutes to just get some clarity, and then come back to your project and add or subtract as you see fit. But I really think that that is a fantastic addition to this whole monochromatic look. So yeah, something a little bit different, but I hope you like it. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to moving on to the next project after this one as well, and see what we come up with. Thank you all so much, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye for now.